Hey, pushing crew. I said, girl. Oh, y'all won't forgive me. Forgive me. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. Hey, pushing crew. It's your girl keeping it pushing, coming to you with another video. I am at the laundromat right now, making sure that my clothes are clean. You already know how that is. I'm coming to drop a video of developments that done happened over the past my air freshener, y'all. I'm just moving it out the way. It done it's still in the camera. Stay. Thank you. Some things that I realized, some decisions that needed to be made for the best. I forgot what name we gave Mr. Man. But me and Mr. Man had we adults, And before we did all of that, mind you, this was in March, like around like the 10th or something like that. And before we, became one, we had a discussion. The discussion lined it. I'm sorry, y'all, I just jumped right into it because because I don't want this to be lengthy and long. I told him that, like, I'm not doing another year like we did it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and play the game of, I don't know where we stand. I don't know, is this going to be a relationship? Is this going to be something worth investing into? We've had a year to figure out if investing in each other was going to be something that we both wanted to do. And I think a year is enough time to figure that out. He agreed. He's not going through what he went through last year. We're not doing that again. It's not what it is. Me being in my own space, him in his own space. He wants to come over, have dinner, hang out with me in my crib. I come over to his crib, just get into that habit and, whatever. So like a week after, I had called him and I was like, no, I texted him and I was like, hey, we need to talk. Now, with him, when I say I need to talk, he's one of them guys, he gets anxiety. Like, he needs to know exactly what it is that you want to talk to him about. So he's like, well, what is it? I get anxiety when people tell me that. And I'm like, well, I'll just come past when I get off of work. He's like, he's not going to be home. And I'm saying to myself, like, it's 11 o'clock at night. Where are you going to be? If you're not in a relationship with anybody, you're not seeing anybody, where would you be at 11 o'clock at night? You don't even sit over your sister's house that long. So I already knew what it was. I knew what it was even going over and becoming one with him. I already knew that. I just wanted him to just admit it to me. And I know that sounds dumb and cliche, but like, I just want people to be just straight up and honest. It's raining, y'all. So, with me, when it comes to things like this, I mean, I believe that there should be communication and an understanding between the both of us, because we both agreed in the very beginning that once we started sleeping with each other, that there is nobody else in place, because there are times where it goes off and there's times when it's on. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. You get it. So, being as though that is a factor between the two of us, there shouldn't be a third person in this at all, because for a year, we've never had a hiccup. We've never had an issue. I'm good. My papers are shown. You're good. Your papers were shown. We're good. We never had that type of problem. That has never been an issue in our relationship, and I would like to keep it that way. Because if it goes another way, then it's another side that you've never seen that you're going to wish you've never seen. Okay? So the understanding was understood. We both understood the magnitude of that. Okay. And even with that, we took precautions because, I mean, of course, I can get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to have another kid right now at this moment. Now, do he want another kid? Yes, he does. But, and me personally, I honestly don't want no more kids. I have enough daggone kids already. I don't want no more kids. I am at the age where my youngest is 5 going on 6. I don't want no more diapers. I don't want no more in the middle of the night waking up. I don't want none of that. I don't want no more daycare. I don't want no more diapers. I don't want to pay for no more formula. I don't want to do none of that because I make too much. I can't get WIC. I can't get all that. So with that being said, I don't even want to embark on that journey, okay? And it's nothing personal towards him or any other man for that factor, but I'm at this stage in my life where my children are at an age where they're in school. They're getting to the age. I mean, he'll be 6, so in 10 years he'll be 16. I just don't want to start all over. But if we would have gotten married and that was a desire of my husband, I would have done whatever I could to make that a dream. If he wants to have a kid with me, we have a kid of our own together, you know, a mixture of us. That's another discussion, another video. Anywho, fast forward, he ended up going on his break. He goes home because I guess this day he was working at the location closer to the house. So he goes home and he calls me. And he's trying to have this conversation, and I'm trying to tell him I don't want to have the conversation over the phone. I would rather have the conversation face to face because I want to be able to see your facial expressions. I want to be able to read your body language. I want to be able to understand what your responses is to the questions that I need answered to. I had already told you a week prior, we're not doing this. So this man comes out of his face, y'all, and I'm gonna be honest. Men, whatever man come across this video, whatever boy comes across this video, let me make this abundantly clear, okay? Abundantly. I'm going to put extra T's and Y's on this. Let me make this perfectly crystal clear. If you tell a woman, well, we're not going to have sex anymore because it seems like when we have sex, we get emotional. Please believe we don't give a damn. If we can get the same benefits and we don't got to sleep with you, that's a damn win for us. Okay? Don't threaten me with a good time. Just don't threaten me. I, who am keeping it pushing, don't threaten me with a good time. Okay? Because sometimes I don't want you all on me and sometimes I don't. So you're making that clear. Cool. Now, when he made the statement, he just came out of my face. He came out of his face, so I might as well come out of mine. I was like, is that supposed to be a threat? Am I supposed to be bothered by that? I mean, I don't understand. And he was like, well, no, I don't expect you to be. Okay, so what was the purpose of the statement? Was that your way of trying to like scare me into doing or chilling the freak out? Like, that wasn't going to make me do that. I could care less. I ain't got to worry about it because at the end of the day, I feel that you are already sleeping with someone else. So me keeping my vagina to myself, brother, I'm fine with that. Like, thank you. I can get the benefit of you, everything that you're going to do, and I ain't even got to sleep with you. Cool with me. Like, don't threaten me with a good time. So I just want you men to understand that when you say things like that to a woman, trust me, she ain't tripping. She ain't tripping. And you better be careful when you do that because that can open up another door for somebody else. So don't ever threaten your partner or whatever y'all got going on. Like, holding the wank back is like something that's going to make me ball up in a corner and cry. Like, I could care less. I know how to play the guitar if I need to. And trust me, let me put this out there too, because men think because we're women, granted, we're not sleeping around with everybody, but let's keep this a buck and a bang. A lot of women is going to feel me on this. A lot of people going to try to deny it, but it's so. Everybody has somebody in their phone that if they really wanted to, they could pick up the phone and make that call. I'm pretty sure he probably got 5 or 6 of them. Me personally, I got 2 that I'm willing to go that route with. You feel me? There's never a no in that. One guarantee, there is never a no. That man has already told me he just wish I stopped playing around and just be with him and just, yeah. Now, I haven't been with this person in over 5 years, 5, 6 years. But we still communicate every birthday, every holiday. I always get a text and a phone call. How you doing? You need something? You all right? I'm cash apping you, da-da-da-da-da. So it's not like I'm losing here. Everybody has somebody. Now, when I started being involved with him and realized that I loved him, I cut all my ties off. But there's nothing for me to pick up a phone and rekindle anything. Just like a man can pick up a phone and rekindle. The only way you can't rekindle, sir, is if you don't screwed up so rudely that that chick don't want to be bothered. But see, I never screw up with the people that I fuck with because you never know when you got to double back. Now, if I double back, it's just for that reason and that reason only. I'm not getting into no relationship. It's nothing of that sort. I digress, but I'm just putting that out there. Everybody got somebody in their phone. They might not talk to them. They might not want to be, but if it came down to the come down that you desperately needed to get that monkey off your back, everybody got somebody in their phone that they can give it to. It's free everywhere. I mean, people are basically giving it away. Like they might as well stand on the corner, just open their legs and just whip it out. Like it's not hard to get that. I don't know why people think that people are so ugly or they think that their game is so strong that another person don't threaten me with a good time. Cause I don't mind. See, I'm going to detox you out my system, which it might take me a couple of years, a year, maybe 2, depending on where I was in a relationship with you. And with him, I've been with him for over a year and a half. So being as though I've been with him for over a year and a half, not in a technical relationship, but working towards one, I don't want to sleep with nobody. I don't even want to sleep with you. So I'm cool. I'm chilling. It's about these coins. Do you understand me? Okay. So fast forward, we in the conversation and we going back and forth and he's getting smart on the phone and he's saying little tidbits. So he was like, well, he had made his way back to work at this point. So he's like, well, I gotta go to work and da 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 da. Now, mind you, at the time, I'm getting myself dressed so I can go to work. And I just asked a simple question. Very simple, very mundane. It was very simple. It was an easy answer that he chose. Hold on, y'all. There we go. That he chose not to freaking answer. Okay. On some real, he chose not to answer. Now, the question was, I asked him, I said, are we done or are we done? He was like, what do you mean? I said, are we done or are we done? Come on. You're not stupid. You have a high school diploma. You know exactly what I'm saying to you. Are we done or are we done? So he was like, just because we're not having sex anymore doesn't mean that we got to be done. I still want to hang out with you and do all these other things. So I said to myself, cool. I already know where this is going. I know your drive. I know you, sir. Okay? We're not going to play that game. if you are stopping sleeping with me, that's because you had already started sleeping with someone else, because I know your appetite. So the fact that you're willing to, mind you, for a year and a half, you've never threatened to take it off the table. We've had conversations where you was like, well, we'll do it when you're ready, type situation. But come on, it's me, the chemistry in that area between the two of us, we both want it. So it's not like it's going to stop. But for you to tell me flat out, you stop, that's because I already knew at that moment that you were sleeping with somebody else. You just craved me, and that's how that happened. And you thought that I was going to stay in that same headspace. Sir, no. Now, I ain't walking around here like I'm big baller, like I ain't got no feelings. Like, my feelings did not end up ultimately getting hurt, but in that moment, I made a decision when I hung up that phone. No, well, let me finish what I said to him. I said, he was like, I don't understand. Now, when he wants to avoid a question or answer me, it's always he doesn't understand something that I'm saying, which is very bluntly clear. You got it, I got it, a 4-year-old got it, hell, a 2-year-old got it. But since he want to play the game, I'm going to play it with him because I'm in the mood to play some games. I said, it's either, are we done with this conversation, or are we done? You go your way, I go my way. So he's like, why do we have to go our separate ways? I said, okay, cool. He said, well, I got to get to work. Cool. Hung up the phone. I made up my mind in that moment, we're done. Because I had already told you almost 2 weeks prior, I wasn't doing this shit again. We're not going to do none of that. It's either we're going to decide that going forward, we're going to put the effort into this relationship and let it mature the way it needs to, or we just disband. You go your way, I'll go my way, and I'm just going to have to deal with my emotions and be happy about it. You feel me? Now, that was March. It was about the 20th at that time, like the 25th, something like that. Matter of fact, I think it was my mother's birthday, to be honest with you. I haven't heard from this man none of April. Come May 10th, I get a text message. The text message reads somewhere up in the lines, because when he sends me text messages, y'all have heard me refer to them in other videos I've done in regards to Mr. Man, they're ebooks. And if you ever come across this, I keep telling you, stop sending me ebooks. I prefer you to call me, because you can tell me everything that you wrote in that ebook in like 60 seconds. In a minute, you can be done with it. It take you longer to text all that than it is for you to just say whatever you needed to say. And me personally, I don't like having personal conversations. I think it's very impersonal when you text people stuff like that. So I wish people would just stop doing that. I understand we in the text age and all this other crazy crap where everybody feels as though I sent the text, that's sufficient enough. No, it's not. It's being inhuman. When you have a conversation with a person, you have a conversation with them. You sit across from them. You look them in their eye. You watch them. You watch body language. You find out if a person is sincere or not. You can't tell that through a freaking text. And I wish people would stop walking around acting like that. Oh, he sounds so sincere. No, the hell he didn't. It's just a damn screen with a bunch of words that you're interpreting one way, and he could have meant the whole time he texting that thing, girl. He could have been sitting over that motherfucker like, I don't give a damn about none of that shit. But if you sitting in my face, you can't do all that. And if you do all that, then I already know we're done. I'm gonna go my way, you go your way. I ain't even gonna let you finish what you gotta say. I'm gonna go my way, you go your way. So the text message reads somewhere along these lines of, it's messed up that we had a whole fire. First of all, he misspelled the word fire, which is weird to me because the brother is, he on point with his stuff. I ain't crazy now. I ain't going to downgrade the brother. The brother is very educated. I'll give him, he's a very smart guy. That's one of the main reasons why I gravitated more towards him. And he's nerdy. So it makes its way. But he has this no, I ain't gonna say condescending. He has a way of trying to make you feel like you're stupid if you allow him to. But I pay that shit no mind because I know I'm far from fucking stupid. I wouldn't have made it this many years on this earth around this many trips if I was stupid. Picture that. God darn it. Anywho, back to the story. So I'm like, reading the text, he was like, it's mighty funny that we had a whole fire that was on the news and on social media. You know, for someone who says they care about the boys, didn't check up on them to make sure that they was okay. I'm just, I thought you said that. No, I find it strange from somebody who says they cares. And I'm just happy that I was in a position, I'm blessed that I was in a position to be able to help even when I needed help myself. We're going to stop. I haven't talked to you in over a month. And the first thing that you say to me in a text message was not, hello, how are you? How are your children? How are you doing? No, it's just ram. Now, I had to read the text like 5 or 6 times because I was like, a four? What the fuck is he talking about? A four in his apartment? What the heck is he talking about? So I had to sit there and read it like 4 times. And when I read it the third time, I was like, is he saying fire? And I read it again with the word fire in there. I was like, oh, they had a fire at their apartment complex? And I was about to pick up my phone. Something told my little black behind to go online and search it up. Mind you, let me say this. What's on my feed, on my social media, is not on your feed on your social media. My feed is not looking in this, nothing in this general area shows up on my feed. It doesn't. I don't type anything in the area that I'm in. So it's not going to show up on my feed. I'm not interested in anything that's going on around me in this area. So being as though it's not going to be on my feed. You see what I'm saying? Second of all, you've been with me for 1.5 years. You know daggone well I barely watch TV. I'm more on my phone watching YouTube than I am. And I know daggone well that's not coming down my YouTube. Second, is not coming down my TikTok. And third, is not coming down my Instagram. I know daggone well it's not coming down my Facebook because I don't even really go on my Facebook. Matter of fact, I claim Facebook is the senior citizens home. I don't go over there. You can't cough, you can't blink, you can't speak, you gotta whisper, you gotta tiptoe. I ain't nobody got time. I barely go over there. Only reason why a post will come over there is because when I post on Instagram, it automatically sends that same post from Instagram to Facebook. Other than that, I don't go on Facebook. So I wouldn't have seen anything. I don't know why he thought that whatever happened in the area, it was going to show up on my phone. No, it's not, sir. I'm not interested. Now, the other stuff that's in the city, that's a whole city away that I'm from. Yeah, I'm going to get that because it's in my feed. I look for it. I'm subscribed to certain things. So, yes, I'm going to get all of that stuff. But where we are, where we both reside, no, I don't do that because this area don't nothing pop off for real. So what do I need to be interested in? Anything that's going on that I will see, and if I want to attend, I will just attend. I don't need it going all up and down my feed. Just me. So that's when you messed up too. Third, you messed up when you try to make me feel guilty of not reaching out to check on the boys about something that I didn't know. Now, mind y'all, I told y'all I went and I looked it up. I went on Google and I looked it up. First of all, this situation happened almost a month before you reached out and texted me to tell me anything. So you waited a whole month, damn near, to tell me about something or try to make me feel guilty about something that you was well aware for weeks. I wasn't aware because I didn't know. Then when I looked, y'all, it's in the complex. Now, you got a point. It was in your complex. Your buildings is all the way at the top of the hill. The fire happened all the way at the bottom of the hill. It does not affect you at all. So why would I reach out? Now, I would reach out just to be like, hey, you guys okay, if I was aware. But being as though I was not aware of the situation, how am I going to tell you or ask you anything? In your text message, you stated so arrogantly that I am aware. So you're just going to make me aware of something that I'm not aware of. I don't ride around your apartment complex. I don't go nowhere near your apartment complex. When I go to the food line, I go into the food line. I don't go through your neighborhood. So I would not see anything that's going on. I'm not looking in that direction of where your apartments and stuff is. There's buildings and houses and stuff, so I wouldn't be able to see it unless I went down the street into the neighborhood to see it. I don't have no desire. I'm not a stalker, sir. So I'm not riding past your house. I'm not doing any of that. So why would I know? Okay. Now who's being Einstein right now? Jesus. So I read the text and I felt the way because you haven't reached out to me in over a month. And when you finally do reach out to me, your message is messy. It's not, how you doing? I could have been in a hospital with 92 tubes going through my whole entire body. I could have been laid up in a hospital in a coma. I could have been out of the country. I could have been in a whole nother state. A whole nother state. I do have children that live out of state. I could have been in a whole nother state. How would I know what's going on? And the fact that you used that was your way of reaching out to me and trying to say something to me because I hadn't reached out. Because remember, I told you when I hung up that phone, I made up my mind. I'm not going down this road no more. I'm not being your bad mate. I'm not a dump bucket. You're not going to know. We're just not doing that. I'm too damn old for that. So I'm not doing it. So I looked at it. At first I was going to respond, but then reality set in. If I would have responded to the text message, it would have put me back in the same situation with him all over again where he can just say things and I'm just going to automatically respond because he said it, and I'm going to be right back in the same trap again because now I'm opening up communication. That was his way of trying to open up a lot of communication with me because I hadn't talked to him. Now, have we drove past each other? Yes, we have. Totally have. But neither one of us stopped. Neither one of us texted the other person's phone. Neither one of us picked up the phone to call the other person. So at this point, we're done, right? We're done. That's what you're showing me. That's what you're telling me. We're done. For someone who tells me the whole time, I love you. I love you. I'm in love with you. I love you. I don't play around with the word love. I don't do all of this other stuff. If you love a person, you telling me you're going to let week after week after week after week go without speaking to them? No. Now, granted, it's a two-way street because I wasn't reaching out either. But I felt as though he needed his space. Let him ponder on what the freak he needed to ponder on because I've already said what I needed to say. And what I said at the end of that conversation should have resonated with you that I was willing to walk away. So at that point, we both failed each other in that moment. The conversation that we had, the initial conversation when we talked, we both failed each other because neither one of us picked up the phone. But this part, I'm not taking responsibility for. I'm tired of you making me feeling guilty over things that I am not aware of, or you charging stuff to me that is totally unfair to charge me with. You can't charge me with something I don't know nothing about. Fast forward, Mother's Day is the 12th. My birthday was the 20th. I didn't get a text message, no nothing to say happy Mother's Day, no nothing. I didn't get a text message to say happy birthday. Nothing. Crickets. Fast forward, Friday. I walk in the food line because I'm going in there to talk to an old co-worker of mine that we are real close with. Real close. That's my little big brother. I'm older than him, but if you see both of the dynamic of us together, he acts like he's the older brother. So he's the older little brother. So I'm going in there to, kick it up with my bro because I haven't seen him. I started the new job. Y'all know my hours are early in the morning to the afternoon. I be dead tired. I just want to go to sleep because I got to do it again. I got to be to work at 4:30. I got to be in the building clocked in at 4:30 in the morning. So I be going to sleep. I go in. I chat with my brother. Lord beholds, I'm walking down the aisle because I asked one of my old co-workers, I was like, hey, where is Koku? And she's like, oh, he's in the back. I think he's on the back dock because it's a truck day for them. So as I'm proceeding to walk down the aisle, Lord and behold, who do I see? Mr. Man. Mr. Man turns around as I'm walking towards him because I got to walk past him to go on the back dock. So he looks up, he looks at me, I look at him, he looks at me, I look at him. We're both looking at each other like, are you going to speak? Are you going to speak? He pulled his gun, I pulled my gun. The kids walked in the play. Now, what pissed me off is because I look, the boys look, they're startled like, oh my God, there's keeping it. Am I supposed to say hi? Can I say hi? They look at their dad to see if they can get permission to say hi. So at this point, when they look at him, I look at him, he puts his head down. So his youngest child, who he's not going to be able to control, I promise you, when that boy love you, he love you. If he like you, he like you. It is what it is. He busts out and he says, hey, miss, my name. I'm like, hey, baby, you know what I'm saying? I come give him a hug. And when I hug him, I always rub the top of his head. So his other son walks up, gives me a hug. So me, my daughter graduated. My kids are out of school. So I asked, I was like, how are y'all enjoying y'all last day of school? Because I knew the last day of school was the 16th. So at least I thought it was. It's the 18th this year for them. But anywho, it's like, oh, we don't get out of school until the 18th. But da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, oh, well, okay then, y'all. So I proceeded. I said, I'll see y'all later. So I proceeded walking on the back dock, come up. He went on the back dock, walked down the bread aisle. That's where he was. Me and Coco started talking. Now, he's in the next aisle over from us, and me and Coco are talking. And he gets into the lane where I am at, where I can clearly see him at. So all of this is done strategically. Nothing this man does is not by chance. Everything this man does is intentional. So from the moment that he realized that I was in that store, there were lanes on the other end that he could have went down, and I wouldn't have known he left. He intentionally went to this aisle so I could see him and the boys. Now his son turns around. Again, when the boys see me, locked in. They locked in on me. Baby wanted to speak. Baby can't even really speak. Can't run up to me. Can't do nothing. So I know the father done said something to the boys. Like, y'all don't speak to her. You see her. Y'all better not, But my presence put you on spot. So you could not say to them boys, they couldn't speak to me. Because if you said that, that would have opened up a line of, that would have opened up a whole argument in front of them babies. That would have been the first time them babies in a year and a half of knowing me, them babies would have seen me rip their father to fucking shreds. Excuse my French, but I would have ripped that ass. The one thing I asked that man to do was never to take the kids from me. Don't do that, because I've built a rapport with those babies. Let me check up on them. Let them hang out with me a little bit. I can take them to the park, if I'm off or whatever. I ain't doing nothing. I'll clear it with you first. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be shady. You ain't got to be, you ain't got a funky ass attitude. Now, the agreement was that if we decide to go our separate ways and we figure out that this was not what it's going to be, per me, that he will allow me to hunch on him until, I get him out my system. Now, I know y'all probably thinking, like, how you going to hunch on a man to get the man out your system? Oh, you can hunch on a person to get them out your system. All I'm going to need is about a good 4 of them good old rounds, about a 5th one child. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Let me get away from this because, this just going to make me want to stay. Okay? But we didn't even get past 2. We didn't even make it to 2. We got to 1. So Father's Day comes. I sent my Father's Day texts out, and I was battling back and forth with myself to say if I wanted to send him a text or not. But I was like, I can't expect people to do what I do, and I can't expect people to be me. So I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to send a text. Now, I sent a text to another person that I called myself trying to date, but yeah, we'll have that. That's story time. That's going to be a story time, y'all. And, I sent him a happy Father's Day. He texted me back. Everybody texts back but this man. Now, I woke up this morning and I'm going to get me breakfast. My phone falls and it goes to WhatsApp. I just, for some strange reason, was like, he never texts me, thank you, no nothing. Let me scroll. And I noticed that his name is no longer in my catalog. Now, he's not deleted from my phone, no nothing, which let me know that he's blocked. I said, oh, wow, you did a whole standoff in front of me in hopes that I would have opened my mouth and spoke. But evidently, you didn't learn anything in the year and a half that you've been with me, because you should have known that if I feel a way about something, I don't have absolutely nothing to say when I'm still angry, because if I'm angry, everything that's going to come out of my mouth is going to be anger. So when I realized today that I was blocked, because it's weird, because it's like when I text, I didn't get a text message back to tell me it wasn't delivered. No, nothing. So, with the iPhone, you can put a person on silent and you won't be blocked, but they put you on silent. That's what the hell he did. But he saw that I sent him a text message and say Happy Father's Day. And it just dawned on me that's what he did. I thought he blocked me all the way, but no, that's what he did. He silenced me on his phone. Y'all know how y'all iPhone users are. Y'all petty. Y'all some temperamental people. I'm just telling y'all. Y'all are damn near 40 and y'all still blocking and censoring people. People should be allowed to respond to your nonsense. If you bring the nonsense to my door, you knock on the door, I'm not going to give it to you right then and there, because I got common sense. I'm going to calm myself down, but just trust and believe me. When I open my mouth and say what I really have to say to you, sir, it's going to be so eye-opening that you're going to sit down with your daggone self and wonder why the hell you even mess with me in the first place. But I digress. I'm saying this to you is that today I cried my last tears over Mr. Man, and the grain of salt that I had left in hopes that he would figure it out, because I kept telling him my feelings don't turn off and on like a faucet. So just because we don't see each other doesn't mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that I'm not in love with you. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means I'm dealing with my emotions. Let me deal with them the way I know how to deal with them. I'm not going to deal with them the way you want me to. It's not about you. It's about me and my healing. So it hurt me. I cried all evening off and on. It is what it is. The end of Mr. Man. I'm just hoping and praying that God, the next person God sends in my life, will be for a long time, because I want love. I want real, genuine love. I don't have time for all this extra stuff. So you guys, look. If you ain't looking for nothing serious, then leave us grown ass women the fuck alone. Let me say it, and let me say it clearly. Leave us the fuck alone. Leave us where you saw us. We don't got time for the bull. Okay? We don't. I could go on and on with the things that we both have said and done to each other being petty. But enough has become enough. I said that when I was at his house, and I told him to his face that I was no longer doing the games. I wasn't playing them anymore. And I meant what I said. I'm a Taurus. He's a Leo. He's a fire sign. I'm an earth sign. You would think that we would get along, which we could if ego wasn't in place. I'm a very independent woman. I want to be very soft. It's hard to be soft when people don't leave you room to be soft. Take a page out of my book on the Word of the Wise. If you are not ready for a relationship and you just want somebody to screw, say it out front. You will be amazed at how many women will be down to not have the responsibility of a relationship but still get the benefits of it. I'm not for all that. I'm too old for all that. I'm looking for my Mr. Man so I can go ahead and finish building my legacy and leave what we're going to leave behind for these kids and these grandbabies, and look forward to the future of all the blessings that God is going to give us. That's what I'm looking for. So, Pushing Crew, this is your girl Key. Been it pushing. It hurt me today, y'all. I cried. I really did cry. And it was like the last grain of salt that I had left, in hopes that he would understand that I'm not doing this to be ignorant. I'm not doing this to be stupid. I'm not doing this to be petty. I'm trying to heal myself so that even if you did come back to me it wouldn't have been on a bull crap. We would have been able to just debt whatever we needed to debt and decide in that very moment. And if that's what we was going to do, that's what we was going to do. If that wasn't what we was going to do, we would have been both respectfully healed enough to be able to walk away gracefully and peacefully and still maintain the friendship. But I guess that will never happen. So, Pushing Crew, another story time with your girl. I love you. Keep God first. And even though things seem bleak for me, your girl is still going to keep pushing and climbing through because my king is out there somewhere waiting on me to finish healing so I could be the woman that he needs me to be for him. And hopefully he's doing the work on himself so he can be the man that I need. I love you, Pushing Crew. My phone's dying. That's why I have to keep cutting my car back on. But I love you guys. I'll talk to you again later on. Maybe tonight. Maybe we'll get 2 videos out tonight. Who knows? I might just tell y'all how Stefan came into the picture.